This is Opus. Opus is an average teenage boy who enjoys sports, music, and more sports. One day, Opus and his friends were reenacting the highway scene from The Matrix Reloaded. Opus would be playing Morpheus. His friend Jebediah would be playing Trinity. And his two albino friends would be playing the Ghost Twins. Unfortunately, Opus needed a prop sword for the scene, so went upstairs to get it. When returning with the sword, James Gandolfini came out of the guest room and pushed Opus down the stairs.
Hey, what's the matter with you? You wanna go get some gabagool, eh?
Opus fell down the stairs, fracturing his pelvis in 3 different places. Excited about getting the gabagool, James Gandolfini had a heart attack and landed directly on Opus's pelvis, shattering it like something that shatters really easily. Then James Gandolfini recovered and went to get gabagool, leaving Opus to be there to die. Fortunately, Jebediah knew to cover Opus's lower half with a blanket and/or jacket to preserve his body heat, because it was really cold in the living room.
Call 911.
Oh, you've reached 911. Please state your emergency. Jebediah then did the smart thing and proceeded not to touch him, because Jebediah is an idiot and probably would hurt him more. Then Jebediah had an idea to keep Opus in a good frame of mind. So they acted out a scene from Opus's favorite movie, A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
20 minutes later, the EMTs arrived. Opus thanked Zeus for allowing the EMTs to arrive safely and somewhat swiftly. Then, the crackerjack ambulance driver crashed into another car, further destroying Opus's pelvis. And because Opus's day couldn't get any worse, the atoms in the 2 cars split, and an atomic blast blew everyone to smithereens. Opus didn't die, but he was launched 5 miles away, where he landed directly on his pelvis. Unfortunately for Opus, all of the available ambulances were destroyed in the blast. But luckily for Opus, Liza Minnelli was sent on her flying cloud to come rescue Opus from his terrible pain. As soon as Liza Minnelli dropped Opus off at the ER, he was operated on. The surgeon performed a procedure on Opus called external fixation. External fixation is a procedure which involves the doctor implanting pins and needles and nails and nuts and bolts into the patient's bone so they can heal faster. The operation was a success, but Opus was confined to a pelvic cast for several weeks, or maybe even months. In addition to the cast, Opus was also told to rest. He had to get a lot of rest. A lot. Opus was also told to use crutches. He was doing fine on the crutches until one day, Jebediah decided to be a jerk and stole one of Opus's crutches. He also hit him in the leg with his own crutch, which resulted in Opus having to keep the cast on for another couple months. Several weeks/months later, Opus has made a full recovery, and now he can continue with the scene from The Matrix. Epic. Opus was doing very well until one day, James Gandolfini returned and pushed Opus in front of a magnet, which really messed up his external fixation. And it really sucked.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Shut up, James Gandolfini!